Welcome to a new game. This will be with Rome this time. I've been really looking forward to this game a lot. Rome is actually probably my favorite civ to play as. I haven't done a game with them yet, but before I ever started recording, I played probably most of my games with Rome because it's so fun and so good. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. I'm kind of taking my Germany game, which I just finished, as a warm-up for this. This is going to be a science victory, and I'm going to try and maximize the speed of the victory. So I'm going to do some strange things that may not really help the quality of my empire as much as it will speed up the victory. I'm going to do some chopping, just do a lot of interesting things, but it should be a fun game. Let's see. So let's review some of these bonuses here, see why Rome is so good. Rome starts with a monument, first of all, so that's really nice. You just speed through the civic tree a lot quicker as Rome, especially early on at least. Now, you have to kind of think of settlers in a new way because of this, because settlers are basically now a monument as well. So when you build a settler, not only are you getting a new city, you're getting a new monument too. So settlers, I view this as basically giving settlers more value. So we're going to want to maximize, we're going to want a lot of cities. I'm going to say that I want about 8 cities by turn 80. That's my goal. Tentative. I may not quite reach it. We'll see. But that's kind of what I'm shooting for. And then by turn 100, I'm kind of thinking of doing the first 80 turns settling and building up cities, getting some districts, rushing theater squares. We're going to use that approach. I don't know how it's going to work after the June update because great works of writing are less powerful now. But we're going to try that theater square approach and see how that works. We are going to... So the first 80 turns will probably just be settlement, building up, getting districts. Then the next 20 turns, I should have legions. And then I'll go to war and try and get a few more cities. So by turn 100, I'm hoping to get 12 cities. Hopefully, that's my goal. It's going to be a stretch. And then by turn 120, it would be nice to have 16 cities. And then have that, I think I would probably settle with that. So that's kind of the general strategy. Let's continue going through these bonuses. Let's see, so we get all cities we found or conquer start with a trading post. That's really nice, and this could be really good for a culture victory too. I think this would make it easier to send out trade routes to all the civs with this, but we're not really going to use that since we are going for a science victory here. Later I'll do another Rome game as a culture victory, because Rome's going to be really good as I feel like Rome might be the best civ now. I could be wrong. I think Rome is the best culture victory civ, I think, and probably the best science civ too because of that. I don't know. I think they get through the civic. See, it's kind of funny. For a culture victory, you're more concerned with tourism than you are with culture. So you're not quite as concerned with getting through the civic tree. With a science victory, you're concerned with getting through the civic tree. And Rome gives you the monuments, which don't give you tourism, but they just give you pure culture. And so I think that is really nice for a science victory. Now, it also helps to get through the civic tree for a culture victory. So I think, especially now, after the June update. Anyway, I won't go into the details, but I think Rome is probably the best civ. That's probably disputable, but let me know if you guys have a different opinion. Maybe I'm not seeing something, but that's kind of what I think. So let's see. They've got legions. We're going to be using those. Those are really powerful. And now with this new June update, you need you need melee units to take cities. You can't really do it with cavalry anymore, at least not as effectively. I think legions, cavalry plus battering ram doesn't really do anything to walls anymore, whereas legions still do. So I think after the June update, Rome is basically strengthened in comparison to the other civs, because the others, some of the cavalry civs are going to be a little weaker now. And then we have the bath here. So this is the unique aqueduct, cheaper to build. That's really good. Source of fresh water from an adjacent river, lake, oasis, or mountain. Cities that do not yet have existing fresh water receive up to 6 housing. Cities that already have existing fresh water will instead get +2 housing. If built adjacent to a geothermal fissure, you get +1 amenity. This is a little bit confusing for me, this sentence. In all cases, the bath provides an additional bonus of +2 housing and +1 amenity. So I don't know, is that on top of what they just mentioned here, or is that just the bottom, the floor? Is that the minimum? I think that's what that's saying, but I'm not completely certain. So it sounds like the bath is the same as an aqueduct, but half as much production to build, and you get an amenity. It looks like. It looks like that's the real difference. I don't know how an aqueduct works with geothermal fissures, so that could be a unique thing too, or maybe not. Food loss during drought is prevented, must be built adjacent to the city center. I got to remember that. Military engineers can spend a charge to complete 20% of the bath's production. We probably won't use that. Military engineers come kind of later. And it's only 20%. It's kind of strange, I guess. Now the cool thing with legions is that they can build Roman forts, and I don't know if they still can do this, but they used to be able to chop stuff for production, which was really cool. That was a huge bonus. I don't know if you can still do that, but we'll give that a try and see. Yeah, so those are the bonuses. We're going to do Deity difficulty like usual, standard game speed, continents map, standard map size. I like standard for science victories because there are more city-states, and that makes the globalization, the 5% science from suzerain status, more powerful. So I think standard map size is better than small for science victories, for sure. Everything else here is going to be standard. I'm not going to play with any new world age stuff or any temperature stuff. I'm just going to do standard. I'll note the actual map seed I go with. I want a high production capital to get a lot of settlers out. And basically, I'm going to be building cities very close to each other. Like 4 tiles apart, pretty much for every city. So this is going to be a very wide game. It's not going to be tall at all. It's going to be the opposite. I just need to remember that the bath needs to be adjacent to one of these when I place cities. So I may settle off of rivers for cities 4 through 8, or 5 through 8. And yeah, so I need to remember that it is still important where they go, because I have a bad habit of assuming that the aqueduct goes anywhere, but it has to be next to these things. Let's see, what else? Yeah, should be an interesting game. I think my goal, I would be really happy if I get under 225 turns here. I just finished the Germany game in 233, and I wasn't really trying to maximize the speed of the victory in that game, so I think I can do under 225, but that would be really cool if I can do that. So yeah, thanks for watching.